friends, the next issue is to look at the various challenges we come across when we are working with multi-core systems. The challenges are dividing the activities for the different cores, balancing the load with each core, splitting the data when we are dividing the work to different cores, the data that is being used for each part of the code to be split, and then look at the data dependency, and finally the problems associated with testing and debugging. So let's see one by one in detail. Dividing the activities. So while dividing the activities for different cores, we need to examine the applications to find the areas that are divided into separate and concurrent tasks. So we need to examine the application so that we can divide them into separate and concurrent tasks, so ensure that each one can run individually on a separate core without any problems. So that's the first problem, is the whole process has to be divided into multiple activities, and while doing it, make sure that the various activities don't depend on one another, so that we can run them concurrently using a multi-core system. Then we must ensure that these tasks perform equal work of equal value. So we should divide the work or the process into threads such that each one gets almost equal amount of work, and each one also has a equal value of its results. So it should not happen that some process is having a least value as far as the total work is concerned, but for that least value work we are giving a separate core for that. So such thing should not happen. So we must make sure that each core's work has equal value at the end. Then the data accessed and manipulated by the task must be divided to run on the separate cores. So we should make sure that the data is properly split, so that the task having the need to access any data should be separate, so that there won't be any issues. One subtask using data which is accessed by another subtask or so on, so that creates havoc and may create problems. So we should have ensure that while splitting the code into multiple parts, we should see that data is also properly split, and ensure that the various components of the process or various subtasks are do not depend on one another's data. That means if one process needs the data that is output of another task, then these two tasks should be executed one after other, so should have proper synchronization. So if we feel that the data dependency is there among the tasks, then these tasks must be serialized instead of parallelly working. So all these have to be clearly envisioned before creating these tasks. And because these tasks are running in parallel on multiple cores, the testing and debugging with such concurrent programs definitely is very difficult. So we should have a proper guidelines, proper debugging and testing setup, so that even under this concurrent execution, we should be able to identify the problems, bugs, and we should be able to test them concurrently. So these are some issues we do face while using the multi-core processors, and the operating system should be wise enough to take care of all these problems. So that's it for now. Thank you.